Welcome to Inspiring Teachers, a show bringing you classroom tips, motivation, and stories from successful educators. Join Tavis Bean and Danny Hogger as they explore the why of teaching.
How about a little audience applause to fill the 12-second walk? Yeah. I see there are people here.
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
who are listening may not know that. Thank you so much for joining us here at Setup. Are you still in Riverside County?
Yeah, I'm in Riverside County.
Very cool.
Temecula Valley Unified.
Very nice. I've spent a lot of time down there with my wife is from San Bernardino, so small world, big state, small world, right? Inland Empire all the way. I also used to work for the Stockton Port, so I'd sometimes travel down to Inland Empire to do the 66ers games. So, yeah.
Look at that.
Inspiring small talk. So tell us about of some of the things you do that you feel really strongly about, that you feel are great lessons or great moments, or what are some approaches to the classroom that you want to share with the Inspiring Teachers audience today?
First of all, I love inspiring teachers, right? I think that's what we all aim to be. Any teacher that can inspire a student, they win over my heart. So everything anyone's doing who's getting to the heart of students makes me smile. I've been teaching 24 years. It's always been high school mathematics, and I always have been very passionate about what I do. I've always been a teacher who likes to share resources and beg, borrow, steal all the great things that are happening from any other teacher's classroom. So I've always been a big collaborator and sharer of ideas. And I'm also a big advocate for teacher-driven change. Okay, so all of the best ideas don't come from, a textbook. They don't come from, some outside person coming to your school district telling you what to do. All of those fabulous ideas come from real teachers in the classroom trying them out with students and exhibiting true passion about what they do. So through my work with Instructional Leadership Corps, I started doing professional development for teachers all over the state of California. And I was approached by Dick Gale for the Institute for Teaching. And he said, Kristan, would you like to start up a Southwest Riverside County think tank? And I'm like, okay, with Institute for Teaching. And so really a think tank, and we were just over there at Dick Gale's session, right? And I think he has another one.
And he's going to join us later today as well.
He's going to join us, yeah. IFT offers grants for teachers who are passionate about a program but maybe don't have the funding for it. Mm-hmm. And if you're ever going to apply for an IFT grant, it's going to be strength-based. Okay, so not talking about what students can't do or trying to fix what's already broken, but looking for projects and ideas that build on what students are strong at and creating something fabulous out of it.
That's great.
So I'm sure when Dick speaks, he'll tell you a little bit more about IFT grants. Mm-hmm. But the other extension of IFT are the think tanks. So I gathered up teachers in my district and neighboring districts in Southwest Riverside County to create a think tank. And it's really just an opportunity for you to connect with teachers that are like-minded with you, that are want to do, incredible things. Sometimes at your site you get kind of stuck, in a rut. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the teacher next door to you is your best friend, and sometimes they're not. Yeah. Right? So you need to reach out with the teachers within your area to connect with other like-minded teachers that are inspiring, that do want to do passionate, awesome things in the classroom. So through our think tank, and Michelle, you're going to get to hear from Michelle here in just a little bit.
Great.
Also on my think tank, we have a group of teachers that are middle school, high school, elementary school teachers in the Southwest Riverside County area. And we started thinking, what do we really want to do at school that is not currently going on, provide opportunities for students more than just learning the quadratic formula. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What can we do? Because students, as a math teacher, I get to know them as a math student. I get to say, how are you this 1 hour a day? But we all know these kids are so diverse and have so many talents. And if you don't have an opportunity to really ask a student, hey, what do you do outside of math class? If you don't ever actually talk to them and get to know them, then you don't realize that, hey, they love art, or they love to draw, or they're on the wrestling team and they've been wrestling since they were a little kid, or, their family loves to travel and they've traveled to all these different states. What do you have during the day that allows you to get to know the students and allows students to really build on what they're good at and what they're strong at. So our think tank started saying, well, we want to offer that at school, offer time within the school day to work on like a passion project or genius hour, so that students have time during the day to actually have the support of a teacher to develop and create something that is truly uniquely theirs. Right. So my think tank started working on passion projects and doing it from a strength-based approach. We started using a resource called Thrively. I don't know if you've ever heard of Thrively. You can go to thrively.com. There's a free version, and it's a whole platform for strength-based. So you can have your students take a strength-based assessment, and it tells the kids back like a letter that talks all about them. And kids love to hear about themselves, right? So they want to say, it says like, oh, you're a person who perseveres. You're highly analytical, or you're you're a creative thinker. Oh, you're very verbal and word oriented. So it gives them a list of their top 5 strengths, and then with that, there are multiple lessons within Thrively that you can push out to your class. So we started using the Passion Project Genius Hour curriculum that goes with it, along with what we're creating ourselves. And you'll see like later today,
very cool.
Michelle and I will be presenting Shark Tank. Michelle's going to tell you about Shark Tank here in just a minute.
Awesome.
But a curriculum within the day that allows students to pursue what they're passionate about. So this year I'm doing it with my study hall class. I got a chance for them to find out what they're strong at, and then it started just one by one asking them what they're interested in and what they would like to do. And I have high school students, so I started saying, what can you do to stand out? When you go to apply for college, everybody's going to have good grades. So there's going to be a lot of people who have good grades. There's going to be a lot of people who have a high SAT score. But how do you differentiate yourself when you're applying for college, or when you're applying for a job, or when you're trying to get a scholarship? What have you done?
Yeah, it's good.
Have you done anything? Yeah. Right? So I started talking with my students, and you'll be amazed when you offer up something like Genius Hour or Passion Projects and put it out to the students. You'll find that there are things they want to do. So like I had a student who we're currently working on this. She wanted to provide positive messages in girls' bathrooms. She's a very nice young lady, and she felt like a lot of girls don't have positive self-image. They don't feel they're worthy. They don't feel like they're good enough. And she wanted to start a program to make basically posters, just like laminate them, put positive messages in girls' bathrooms. So I'm working on that with her. Nice. And we're coming up with all the messages that she wants to do. We're going to have her pitch it to the principal. And I said, we're not going to go to the principal until you come up with your pitch, like a Shark Tank pitch. Great. And you have a great idea, but when you have a great idea, you have to present it in a way to convey your idea, to let the person know whatever it is that you want to do, you actually have a plan for it. So we're working on a plan for her to do a Shark Tank pitch to get her positive message in the girls' bathroom.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm all fired up. This is what this show's all about, is getting good ideas that can make our students feel empowered and be stronger people going forward. I have so many comments.
I got a million questions.
You gave us so many things to go through. I'm going to be short, and then I'm going to pass to you. Okay. I'm going to let you go first. I changed my mind. I'm going to be the nice guy.
Well, I was just wondering, how do you hold 250 high schoolers accountable for all of their passion projects?
Ooh, good
question.
How
are you verifying that they're doing it, following through? Because this is something that I do in middle school as a woodshop teacher, where I've got students who have passion projects, and that's where it's hard. It's like, if this is the project that you're supposed to do, and you either do it or you don't, and there's certain qualities, but when they come up with their own, I'm really wondering how you just verify that they're doing it and to the best of their ability.
Okay, so one, it's not graded. Okay, and honestly, I encourage all of them to come up with an idea and to propose something, but it's not in my class. It's not graded. It's really my job to inspire them to want to do it.
That fits in with what we were saying right before you got
really.
here. It's perfect. It's like we gave you the script ahead of time. This is awesome. Continue.
So, and I told them, I said, we're all busy. We all have a lot of things to do, and we're going to be working on this during like study hall class. And quite honestly, if you guys all want to pursue this to the highest level, I am here to support you with it. But if there's certain students who are, really want to make this happen right away, I'm going to focus in on them and help them do it. So I do it kind of on a student by student basis. I post resources for them. We start the year with a kind of a passion project slideshow that has a lot of resources in it, kind of like how to get started, where to get your ideas from. Some little activities like, what inspires you? What do you do on Saturday morning? What do you do to get them thinking? And then push those resources into Google Classroom so that they have it to refer back to at any time. And then I created a classroom Padlet. Have you ever used Padlet?
Mm-mm.
Okay, Padlet's like a digital bulletin board where you could pose a question and then students can post on it. And then they can also comment on each other's posts. So I told them to post their top 3 ideas on the Padlet and then also to comment on other people's.
Great.
So that if you knew something or had a resource that you could share with your fellow student, then post it so that they would know. So I provide them with resources in Google Classroom. I provide them opportunities to share out with each other and comment with each other. And then I literally just call them up one by one and talk with them. Another project, I have a student who wants to do, he's passionate about baseball, right? And this is a kid who's played Little League and now is on the high school baseball team. And he said, Ms. Morales, there's not a lot of places in Temecula where there's a dirt mound when you're pitching off a dirt mound. And I'm not a huge baseball fan, but I didn't even know that. I didn't know there was opportunities for kids to pitch off a dirt mound. I said, really? And then he told me a whole other like laundry list of things that happen to baseball fields, like when the city is planning 4th of July and the baseball fields get closed and stuff. He's like, there's no place around town where kids can actually practice on the dirt mound because now they use these portable mounds. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I got to teach. Just in the back of my mind, the wheels start turning. Mm-hmm. I start getting him. It's okay. You need to start reaching out to Parks and Rec. Let's write a letter to reach out to the Parks and Rec and see if are you willing to build it? Yeah. Do you have friends on the baseball team that can help you? Because all high schoolers need community service hours.
Right.
Why can't we get you and your friends from the high school baseball team going out there and building if you can get a connection with Parks and Rec? So just by giving the students time to find out what they want to do. Us as teachers, we've been around long enough. We know our community. We can say, well, what about this? Let me connect you up. It's simple things that you as an adult and as an educator already know could potentially be available. And you're just sharing it with a young person who didn't know that.
Right.
That's great
and
stuff.
Encouraging them to do it. We have other members on our think tank who actually, after they do Passion Project, invite all the parents for like a Passion Project Genius Hour event, and say we want your parents to come. And then she sets up whole tables in the gym where parents could stop and see their own kids' project, and go from table to seeing what other kids doing. So you get the community involved, and that goes back to the strength base. The work that we do at the think tanks with IFT is all about strength base and building family and community connections, and also thinking about future oriented, like how can maybe what you're doing solve a problem, be an invention.
Totally.
And when the other teacher who does the setup in the gym, she requires that her students choose a community problem as part of what they're doing.
Oh, that's really
and in the end, you don't feel like you need a grade because they see the intrinsic value of what they're doing. It's based off of their passion, and this is something they're going to remember far longer than what the Magna Carta was or whatever.
Yeah.
Why do you have to throw me under the bus again?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
No, I love it.
Set him up. I'm going to knock him down.
You could do it.